Hey guys, welcome back to Gyro Technology Solutions. So today we're going to talk about password management. I'm going to jump straight into it, more or less. This is our videos are known to be straight to the point, so that's the way we want to stick. I have an outline over here. I'm going to go through it. And I'm also going to do a practical where I'm going to show you exactly what to do with either a cloud-based password manager or a local password manager. So the first thing I have on here is passwords becoming obsolete. So we might not always use passwords. If you want to break it down, it's a word to get into pass into the system, if you will. There's also passphrases. There's also biometrics. We all know that Microsoft came out a little while ago and basically said you can go passwordless. So all those things are great, but are passwords ever going to fully go away? I don't particularly think so. So with that in mind, always remember that if you are using passwords, you need to make sure that you have good passwords. With that being said, I'll keep going down the list here. So number two, why passwords are important. Well, there's many reasons why they're important, but I'll be a little more specific. So in business, you want to protect your customers' data. That's really big, especially in the financial industry. If you are handling confidential data or PII in any level, then you need to make sure that you're using strong passwords to protect your data. And then on the personal side, you want to protect your bank account, you want to protect your email, and you want to protect your social media account. Do you have absolute full control over all that? Probably not. A lot of Facebook, for example, has come out and straight up said, "Hey, we store your passwords in plain text," or at least has been rumored. And that's not outing the social media platform. It's just, is it fact or not fact, right? But regardless of that, I'm gonna make videos going over each one of those things and why they're important in more detail in other videos. But we'll stick to the basics of password right now. And number three, how to create strong passwords or passphrases. So long story short, you want them to have upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. So that's for passwords. For passphrases, you want them to be multi-worded, and that's a funny way of putting it. 3 to 5 words with capital and non-capital letters, and have numbers involved if you can. And I'm going to show you that here shortly. And again, I kind of mentioned this a moment ago, but you want to make sure there's no personal data such as pet names, birth dates, addresses, and phone numbers. And I've already been around the block a few times when it comes to password management and dealing with customers and all that fun stuff. But the reality is, I know that those things are easy to remember. But the whole point of this video is saying, hey, we have a tool that you can use to generate a password and to store securely. So that's what we're doing. All right, how to store passwords. So we're getting into local versus cloud, and so for example, one of the local ways to do it that I've seen many people do time and time again is Excel spreadsheets or notepads or Word documents, anything like that that is just leaving it there. And yes, you can password protect those documents, but is that enough? A lot of people would say no, it's not enough. But anyway, so local, like for example, a local one would be KeePass, or a cloud one would be Bitwarden, something like that, or LastPass, or One Password. And I'll tell you the benefits and the cons. So for local, it's quote unquote more secure because it's on your PC or on your server, and that way it's only you have access to it. And allegedly, you only have access to it in the cloud. But at the end of the day, the policies say one thing, but practical application says another thing, or possibly right. So just keep those things in mind. And also local is the con to being local is more difficult to access or share. And I've experienced that with KeePass. We used to use KeePass a lot, and unfortunately, when if I wanted to share a password with someone else, then I would have to export the entire database file, and I'd have to go through and take out what I didn't want them to see. And so, with that being said, it's more difficult. Um, and unless they've come up with an update, I'm not sure if you can get out of having to do that or not. But either way, it's just not as manageable. With the cloud stuff, it's less secure. Again, we all think of the cloud as this magical thing in the sky, but it's not. It's just someone else's server, right? So in many ways, it's quote unquote less secure, but take that as you will, especially the IT professionals out there. For the end user out there, it's not to say it's not secure. It's just we are not 100% sure because we're not on the back end of that. That would be that vendor who controls it. And then, but the cloud is more easily shareable, so I can simply go into one of our password managers and I can click share with this person, and this person, and they have access to it just like that. But anyway, so that's all the conceptual stuff behind password management. Now I would like to get into a practical to show you how simple it is to use one. I'm going to go ahead and pop up my thing over here and show it to y'all. Let's see here. Share. All right, guys. So here we have Bitwarden, and this is one of the cloud-based password managers. And it's not to say this entirely cloud-based. I believe there's a way to. I haven't done it, but I believe there's a way to have your own on-prem server. So if you can, that I would actually say go for that instead. But there's nothing wrong with using the cloud server. I mean, depending on your skepticisms of how a vendor keeps stuff secure. Anyway, so this is what you normally see whenever you first come to Bitwarden. So, and then typically you would follow the route of getting started today, and then it'll pop up the thing that asks you to fill out your information. In this case, I already have one, so I'm just gonna go and log into it. And so right here we have email. So I created one last night, so I'll go ahead and do forward man 1990. Nobody pick on me for being a forward man over here. And then as simple as putting in your password. All right, so I created two as an example, but this is an example of how you would see it initially whenever you go in there. You can also download the client application on your computer. I'll cover that in another video maybe. But for right now, we'll stay here. So all I need to do right here is click on my bank, and it shows me all the info, right? And then you can also, if you just want to do a quick thing, then you can come over to the three dots and you can do copy username or copy password. And then what that does is it copies it to your clipboard, and then you can paste it into the fields whenever you go to your bank account or you go to your email. You just paste it in the username field and the password field. It's that easy. So real quick, I'll walk through an example of how to create it. I know it's pretty complicated. Just kidding. So hit add item, and then we're gonna say my test. If I can spell it right. And then right here, you would just say my test. And this can also be your email and username, so keep that in mind. And if we're generating a password, just hit that little refresh button and then hit the I, and you can see right there. So that's the password that it generated for me. And then I believe that the client application has more options that you can use, so you can actually generate a passphrase instead of a password. But as far as the web application goes, I haven't seen how to do that at this point. Unless it's right there. Okay, so you can actually do some more character count right there. But anyway. So this is the basic way of how to create a password, and all you do is hit save. And so right here you have my test, and then the username is my test, and then you hit the three dots and you copy username or copy password. So this is the cloud version of this. And so now I'm gonna jump over to the local version of KeePass. All right, so all I'm gonna do is come over here and type in KeePass, or I'll just type in the first few letters. All right. It says cannot be found, so apparently that database can't be found. That's fine. We'll just create a new one. All right, so this little button right here says create new database. And then new database, so hit OK. All right, and then you can save this database to your local computer. So again, this is a local thing, and I'll just save it to documents for the sake of simplicity. All right, and then it should pop up. So master password. So nobody use this password that I'm about to type in. So right there, you can click on it, and then I just hit the three dots. It'll show me the password, and then you can type it again, and it'll actually copy it as the repeat password. So this is just this is what your master password. Your master password would be the password used to access all your other passwords. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out of that, hit OK. And it says this password's weak. We know that. So typically you want to use a strong password. Hit yes. Database name, and I'm just gonna say my test. If I could type correctly. Okay. And then emergency sheet. I would highly recommend you printing out an emergency sheet. I'm gonna skip it for this lab. All right, and then this is just two samples that pop up, and you can use those. Or I'm not use those. Sorry, you can see those are there. Just delete them. We don't really need them. But what you'll come in here and do is hit right click and hit add entry, or you can come up to the file new. That's a new database. Sorry, let's see, that was incorrect. Sorry, you can actually go in there and you can actually hit add group or edit group or whatever. So let's see here. Add entry, there we go. That's the right button. All right, so I'm gonna go back to database and make sure you actually put into a folder that you can remember where it is. So I'm gonna hit add entry. And then here's the fun thing about this. I'm gonna type my test, oh, got the icon right there. Excellently selected it. So my test, and then password. So it automatically generates a password, or you can go under here and you say open password generator, and then here you can actually decide the length of it, or you can do uppercase or lowercase digits, all these fun characters. Typically, I do the upper and lowercase and digits, and then I'll come over and do special characters. So you can do that, and then once you do that, hit OK, and then it'll just generate you a new password. And after that, all you do is hit OK. So whenever you go to the whatever you're trying to log into, all you need to do is right click on the entry, copy username, paste it into the field with Control V, or right clicking it and paste, or you can go and hit the copy password right after that, and same difference. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was very informative. I hope it was straight to the point like we normally are. And we'll have more follow videos. So thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, and share it with anybody else you feel can use it. Thank you. Have a good day.